It's the Voice of America. I'm Larry London, and welcome to our special Friday program. We were listening to a song from Jordin Sparks, who is the 2007 American Idol champion, and she is an international superstar. And as I've promised for the last week or so, she is in our studios.
Yes.
Welcome to Washington, Jordin.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, I guess, a lot of times in life things happen and they're meant to happen. And this week I was watching with my daughter, Big Time Rush.
Yeah.
And I said to my daughter, guess who's coming in on the show Friday? Jordin Sparks. And then all of a sudden, there you were on Big Time Rush. So it's one of those things, congratulations on all the success.
Thank you so much. It's been so crazy. I mean, I think since Idol, 4 years, 4, somewhere around there. It's just been nonstop ever since. It's been a steady rise, and it's been really cool. I'm just glad that 4 or 5 years later, people still want to talk to me and want to hear me sing, and it's just awesome. I just love being able to do what I do.
Well, you're very modest and very humble. We were talking about that off the air. I'm a member of the Spark Plugs.
Yes.
Of course, that's Jordin's fan club
Yes.
around the world, and I've gotten so many emails about your visit here and your music and everything.
Thank you.
And I know that you have a special connection to a listener who is right now in the Middle East.
Yes. Well, he leaves in 3 days, but Brian, if you're out there listening, miss you so much. Brian was my bodyguard for the past 2 years, and he's going on his 3rd tour of duty over to Afghanistan. And so I just was like, Brian, make sure you listen. Make sure you listen. So hi, I miss you. Be safe. Come back fast.
You work very, very hard at what you do. Has music always been what you wanted to do growing up?
I was, my grandmother found some tape that she had recorded of us a long time ago, like old family videos. And 18 months old, I'm sitting there singing Jingle Bells before I could really even make sentences. She's playing it on the piano and I'm singing every single word at 18 months. And so music has always just been something that's just in my blood. Like I was born to do it. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'll be doing it after, the lights go off and the stage isn't there. I'll be singing to grandchildren or whoever, if that happens. But yeah, music is definitely what I've always wanted to do. And I knew I would be a singer. I just didn't know when it would happen. And then, I didn't know Idol was going to be my path and, different ways to take, but it worked out pretty well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere where you had auditioned for American Idol the season before you actually made it on.
I auditioned in LA and I was told no. And so I was like, okay, I was 16 and was just like, you know what? It's fine. Maybe there's something else that needs to happen. I can always audition next year because I was the youngest age you could be at the time. And so I went home and then I did the localized version, Arizona Idol. And if you won that, you got sent to the next nearest audition city. And so I won the Arizona Idol and they sent me to Seattle and then I made it through there and the rest is history, I guess.
Wow. And the accomplishments just keep on coming in. The Grammy nominations, the BET Awards, American Music Awards, all the things that have been happening to you over the last few years, and of course all the charities you're involved with. You sang at the Super Bowl.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it was scary. That was a scary one.
Christina Aguilera should have called you for some advice before, but you did a wonderful job in that, you sang. I guess your dad was a football player, professional football player.
My dad played for 9 years, which is a pretty long career. And he played for the New York Giants for 8 years and then Dallas for 1. And so when I did sing at the Super Bowl, we're standing there on the side. My dad's down there with me, like right before I'm about to go, and he goes, at least one of us made it. And I was like, Dad! He's such a dork. I love him so much. I got to see him the other day. But yeah, he's always been so supportive. So is my mom. My family is just my backbone. I don't know what I'd be able to do without them.
And you have a brother that plays football too?
I do. My brother actually just graduated from high school. Go Mountain Ridge. Yeah, class of 2011. But he is going to the University of North Dakota to play football on a scholarship. So I'm very proud of him. So hopefully this fall, there's NFL football and NBA and all that good stuff, but I will be focused on his college games, so I'm excited about that.
How about American Idol for him? Would you tell him that's a good way to go, or would you? I mean, now that you've done it and been there, would you say that that's not a good way to go?
Well, PJ doesn't really sing.
Not a singing football
so
player?
I don't know. He loves to do more of the production side. Like he likes to make beats and he likes to rap and do different things like that. But he's actually very, very multi-talented. He can draw. He can, produce things. He plays all sports. And I'm like, okay, I can sing. it's working for me though, so it's okay. But I don't know if PJ wanted to do that, then yeah, I would say go for it. I mean, I would tell anybody who wants to try to try. I mean, you never know unless you do. So I would rather them go try it than sit there and go, should I do it? Should I do it? Just do it. Go do it. And if it doesn't happen, then there's something else that you have to do.
Right. It sounds like, and I can't imagine the feeling of being judged before millions of people on television every week. That has to be really, really nerve-wracking.
It was very crazy. I was such a huge fan of the show before I was on it. So being on the show and being a contestant, I was just like, oh my gosh, there's the judges table and, the cameras and backstage and the lights and Ryan. And I was always kind of like trying to bend down so I wasn't like so tall because the camera had to like pan out so much because we were such different heights. But I love you, Ryan. You know that. But it was an amazing thing. And then it came down to it, and you had to do the songs, and you're there, and you're singing for the judges who basically whatever they say. A lot of people at home are gonna go, okay, do I agree with Randy, Paul, or Simon on my season, or Randy, J-Lo, and Steven. So it's all different, but the judges definitely do influence what a lot of people, how they vote or what things do. But it was just crazy to go, and being 17, like, in high school, you're already like, oh, school is judging you and everything, and you feel just different things like that, and then you magnify it times 30 million people, and it gets pretty nerve-wracking. It was a lot, but I think I did okay.
Yeah,
I think I did okay. It worked out in my favor, so we're good.
You were predicted to win. I don't know which one of the judges said it, but somebody had said you're going to win.
I remember Randy had said something really early on. He was like, I bet a person with curly hair is going to win. And when he said that, I was like, Mom, I have curly hair. But you never know. I mean, it's one of those things like week after week, I was just like, I can't believe I'm still here. I'm like, things get so close and people have such good performances, and then you're thinking about what you did, and it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And even now, I'm sure the contestants have it even, not worse, but I'm sure there's even a lot more pressure, with budgets getting bigger and being able to do more stuff and social media, and it's a lot. Right. It's a lot. So I definitely feel.
Kelly Clarkson, after she won that very first year in 2001, she said that it's nonstop. From the minute you win, I mean, It's nonstop. You never get any sleep. Have you had a chance to catch some sleep since 2007?
I haven't slept
since.
That's
okay.
I haven't
well, you
slept
look great
since.
for no sleep.
Thank you very much.
Years.
Makeup does wonders. It's good. But literally what happened after I won, I got up there, I sang, everybody came up on the stage, hugs, everything. I walked off, ran into my brother and his best friend's arms, and we all started bawling, and then my family came in, we're crying. I get a tap on the shoulder, Jordin, press 5 minutes, and that's how it's been ever since.
That's it, press 5 minutes. It's the favorite slogan.
Exactly.
Now, you performed on American Idol this season, just a few
weeks
ago.
Yes.
You sang the new single?
I did. I sang my new single, I Am Woman, which I think you guys just heard.
Yeah, we just heard. Sounded great.
Thank
Love
you.
that song.
It's definitely different for me. It's got a little bit more attitude. It's a little bit more edgy, and it's something that it's a side of me that I've always had. I just haven't been able to, show it yet. Timing is everything. So it worked out that right now I could do that. But American Idol and the national anthem make me go like this. Every time, every single time. I'm standing back there going, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I standing here with the things about to open and getting ready to go out? But all I remember is standing behind the wall that opened and then walking out, kissing Steven Tyler, and then walking off the stage. Like, that's all I remember. It was good, though. Those parts are good memories.
Well, you're dancing now. You're showing some
Just
moves out there.
Yeah. I've always had a little bit of rhythm, but I definitely wanted to step my game up and, do something different. And it was cool because my fans had no idea. I was kind of keeping everything under wraps, and I was saying, I got rehearsals and choreography and different things like that. But as soon as I came out, because I didn't let them know I was going to be on Idol until like maybe the week before, so they had no idea what to expect. So I wanted to give my fans something to like digest and chew on and be like, whoa, okay, this is not what we were expecting. But it's still me, I'm still the same. Still the same girl out there, so it's good.
Now, one thing it's really separated you from a lot of other artists is that you continue to be a great role model, and you pride yourself on that.
Thank
I mean,
you
know,
for sure.
And so, what is the new album going to be about? I mean, is it a new direction? You said you want to take some risks, or is it going to be
taking some risks? I don't know if it'll be necessarily lyrically. It was so funny because I say, hell, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on here. I'm sorry, should I not say that?
No, that's okay. That's all right. You just did.
I say it in the song, and like my fans were like, oh my gosh, and it was like this crazy thing, but not necessarily like anything too far-fetched that they're not going to know that it's me. But I tend, when I get to write and I get to be a part of the music making process, I tend to write just from things that I'd gone through or am going through, or just things that I'm thinking of at the moment or the way I'm feeling. And it's really cool to be able to put songs on a record that, I was a part of. And then I sing and there's a different connection to that song than there is, say, with somebody who just sends in a song. But you know what? I'm not sure. We're still working on it. We've got songs from, it's really fun to be dancing here with you, and now we're floating because we're so happy that we're together, and a ballad, and another song like I Can't Believe You Said That to Me, Get Out of My Sight, different things like that. So we're just trying to make it all cohesive, because when I heard I Am Woman, I was like, that's the song that I need to put out there. So now for the rest of the album, I just want to make sure that it's really cohesive and that it all fits together.
Did you write the song I Am Woman?
I didn't. I wish I did, because I say all that stuff all the time. But actually, the guy who wrote it, his name is Ali Pierre, and he was raised by his mom, and I think he has 5 or 6 sisters. So he wrote it from being inspired by how strong his family has always been, and his wife as well. And it was just such a cool story to hear. And then Ryan Tedder was a part of it as well. And Inflo, they did the production, and I worked with Ryan on Battlefield, so I knew that it was going to be a good match.
Well, congratulations on Battlefield. Congratulations on No Air. I mean, that's still to this day one of the top, if not the top, downloaded single in iTunes history. 4 million plus copies have been downloaded.
It's been really crazy. Actually, I think a couple months ago, No Air re-entered on, I think is it the BBC One over in the UK? It re-entered the top 40 chart. I'm like, 3 years later, and it entered again. And I think it was at 38. I don't know if it's still there, but to see a song that we did, and we're not doing really any promo for, and just being a part of something that I knew the song was amazing. I just had no idea how massive it was going to be. And to see that still, 4 years later, that it's still having that effect on people. The security guard downstairs sang it to me. He sang it on the way up while I was walking. He sang it to me. So it's really cool to be able to have something like that.
And you said that some of the fans, they don't speak a lot of English, but what they can say to you is No Air?
Yes, Sparks No Air.
Sparks No Air.
Sparks No Air. That's what happened in Rwanda. And actually, a lot of times it's either, No Air, or like One Step at a Time, or Battlefield. And that's what they'll say. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And get excited, take a picture. And, I'm like, I have no idea where they're from, but they knew my song. And it's like, it's so cool to be able to have that kind of reach. And I didn't realize how far it had reached, or how many people had actually, listened to my music and wanted me to come when I went to Rwanda back in March. And we went down there to fit hearing aids with Starkey Hearing Foundation, and they just ambushed at the hotel, and they were so sweet. Can we get your bags? Can we do anything? I'm like, it's okay, I got it. They were really, really sweet. And when they would come up to me, they go, Sparks No Air? And that's how they identified me. And it was cool, though. And I was on a bus, and then they put my picture in the paper, and it was so cool. I had no idea. I wasn't expecting that when I went down there.
Well, and we talked off the air about touring in Japan, and I'm sure you've had a chance to do a lot of international touring, just not Japan yet.
Yeah.
Must make you feel good when you're in a country that doesn't speak English, that knows the words to your songs.
That is the craziest thing. And it's actually really amazing, because I've always said, I don't know if I've said it enough, but music is definitely a universal language. Everybody can understand it. Everybody can feel an emotion behind a song. And everybody who listens to it, pretty much, whether you speak the same language or not, you find out the meaning behind the song, and what the words mean. And then you are attached to it, and you feel something. So when I go and I'm singing somewhere where it's, either not the primary language, or, where I've never been before, and it's just amazing to be able to just listen. I take out my little in-ear, and, I'm hearing them sing along with me. And that's like, I don't know. I can't really describe the feeling. It's incredible.
Well, I tell you what, Jordin Sparks is with us. She's incredible. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
I mean, would you agree? I mean, she is gorgeous. She really looks wonderful.
Oh, there's so many of them.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people in the halls here. We have 44 language services, so everybody's here to see you, and I can certainly understand why with all.
Wish I could say it in 44 languages. Hi. Hi, konnichiwa. Hello.
Did you pick up anything in Rwanda? I know you've been down to several places in Africa, because there's a lot of listeners who are tuned in right now in Rwanda.
We had to say, because we were working with people who couldn't hear, and a couple of deaf schools. There were a couple. We were doing sign language, so we were doing a lot of that. But what was the one phrase? No, I can't remember.
The phrase that pays.
Yeah. It was just the phrase, "Can you hear me?"
Right,
Because
right.
we were doing the sound, and I can't remember it. I'm sorry. I
Eh.
can't remember it right now. But, we would do is equal. Is it okay? Is it your right or left? Are you happy? Like, different things like that. And that was cool, too. We had to pick up on that really fast because there were a lot of kids.
And I know you've been learning Japanese, so hopefully you'll get to Japan. and
Hopefully
get to
I'll
perform
be
there.
able to go and, be on stage and say something and be able to write it. And, Rosetta Stone has worked its wonders. I tried picking up some books, and it's like, okay, to be able to see it in front of you, it works out really, really well. But I definitely want to learn it. It's one thing I love to still continue to learn things and become, knowledgeable about different things. Because right now, focus on my music and things are crazy. And school is definitely a priority for me, but I haven't started it yet. I have to find the right, school that I want to go to, the online classes I want to take.
Right.
But I still want to keep learning. So I love to read books. I love to read. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to try learning a language on top of everything else that I'm doing. Let's try learning a language. And I like I told you earlier, I really love the Japanese culture and love everything about it over there. And even though I haven't been, but I will be one day. And so I was just like, you know what, let's try and do this. And so I know a couple of phrases.
And what are you studying? What are you studying? I mean, what will be your major if and when you go back?
I have always loved children, and I wanted to be a pediatrician for a long time. And then I was like, I don't know if I could handle all those cases. So I figured that instead of being the top pediatrician, I could be the singing nurse that brings them lollipops. So, I might
That's
study
great.
that. And then I've always been, I really like criminal justice and CSI and different things like that. So I don't know. I got to decide because they're all on kind of different spectrums, but we'll see.
Jordin Sparks is in the studio with us today. It's wonderful to have her here. Now, there's many, many layers to Jordin Sparks. I mean, with your philanthropy work and charities and your fashion line, your perfume fragrance. We'll talk about that stuff. But before we do that, you're going to sing a song?
Yes.
You have an a cappella song that you prepared?
I have
you're
an
gonna
a cappella song that I prepared. Brian used to walk around, and on occasion I would hear him singing something, and it was always this song for the most part. Sometimes he'd be singing something else like, Journey or whatever, but this was the one song that he kind of always sang, and it's a song that I've always loved too. It's by one of my favorite bands, so hopefully I can do it justice. But I'm going to do it a cappella, but it's Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts. Okay, you ready? Okay. Actually, yes.
The beautiful and talented Jordin Sparks.
Thank you very much.
American Idol queen.
Thank you. Fill in for the water break. Sorry.
That's it. Phil.
Okay. All right. I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two while my brow kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. I think about the years I spent just passing through. I'd like to have the time I lost and bring it back to you. But you just smile and take my hand. You've been there, you understand. It's all part of a grander plan that is coming true. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. Oh yeah, oh I'm just a rolling home into my lover's arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road that led me straight to you.
Wow. Make some noise. Wow, they're standing all around the world. It doesn't get any better than that.
Thank you.
It
Thank you
doesn't
so
get
much.
any better than that.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Hair on my neck is standing up. Jordin Sparks is our guest live in our studios. That was beautiful. And
Thank
Brian,
you.
you better have enjoyed that.
Yes, Brian, I miss you. Remember when you would sing that and I'd always get on you? It's okay. It's cool. You sounded really good. Don't worry.
So give me some insight into the new album. Are there going to be some surprises, some collaborations, some special guests?
You know, I worked with John Legend earlier this year, and we did a couple of songs together, and that was before I had I Am Woman. So I think if we do the songs that we worked with or we worked together on, we'd have to tweak them a little bit so they'd work. But I did work with him. I would love, and still, I've always wanted to work with Fergie, so I would love to work with her. Maybe work with Chris again as well. He's got amazing songs, amazing repertoire of songs that he's just written. So I would love to do some stuff with him. Natasha Bedingfield, I love her. Alicia, I love her. So we'll see. I mean, there's a wish list that goes on forever, but you know, it's the executing and scheduling and trying to get actually in the studio. So we'll see.
Now, what about album titles? Have you thought about a title?
You know, it's my third record, so when I put in my iTunes, usually like when I'm putting the demos in or the songs that I've done, I always, you know, make up something so that they all go under the same thing, right? So I have, I called it, it's really cheesy, but I called it 3 Times a Charm. So we'll see. I might just call it 3 or 3 times or something like that. But that's kind of what's been in my head. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that works. It kind of, I don't think about what it's going to be until like the last possible second. So we'll see.
Got to be a tough part of the process to decide which 12 or 13 songs you're going to pick, because you probably got, you know, a whole bunch to choose from. And
yeah. And we're still recording. We're still in studio and still, you know, taking demos and meeting with producers and different things like that. But for my Battlefield record, I think I recorded 35 songs, then we had to narrow that down, and it was a mess. And it's always so like gut-wrenching because there's so many songs that I definitely fell in love with and that I really related to, and it was just like, well, okay, this will be great for radio, but this one is one that I wrote, and then there's this. And I was very, very happy to get, I think I got 4 songs on the record that I wrote. So I was very excited about that. But yeah, it gets really crazy. And then you're like, okay, well, we can do it as a bonus track. And then it's like, well, not everybody's going to get it because they'd have to pre-order, and
when do you
it's so
think
crazy. I'm like, can I just put out a CD and people can go buy it in the store? Like, you know.
When do you think it's going to come out?
I'm hoping soon. It gets so crazy. I mean, with touring and trying to save my voice and not do too much with it, it gets a little bit complicated. So I'm hoping that at this point, since now I was hoping that it was going to be in spring, but now with all the tours and everything that's going on, I'm hoping that maybe fall, maybe sometime in the fall.
Okay, great. Well,
third quarter, guys.
Third
Quarter.
Third quarter. And your website?
JordinSparks.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Jordin Sparks. I finally got my real name after 2 years of being on it. Now my name is Jordin Sparks instead of the real Jordin, because I went to sign up and somebody had my name.
Somebody
already.
had your name.
Somebody had my name. I was like, "Can I have it back?" And no response, but it's okay. I don't know what happened, but I got my name finally. So yeah.
All right, cool. So if people want to, do you respond yourself or do you have
on
other
Twitter?
people?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
It's all me. It's
Well, there
all
you
me
go.
for sure.
See,
so
look at that.
sometimes I have tweet sprees, and sometimes I feel bad because there's an option to get notifications on your phone whenever somebody tweets, and then sometimes I go off and waking people up at 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, sorry, my bad.
Now, I wanted to talk about the charities that you're with. You have done so many different campaigns.
Thank you.
And you're with one now that's, I don't have the name of it in front of me, something about MAD.
Yes. We have a charity. The group is called the Mad Girls, Inc., and MAD stands for Making a Difference. And so the campaign me and my brother launched about almost 2 years ago now. It's called the I'm Mad, Are You campaign. And so I'm making a difference. Are you? And so it's kind of a play on words because you see something that gets you riled up and you get mad about it and you're like, I can do something about that. And then you go out and you make the difference. So we do that. And basically what the campaign is about is just encouraging people to just go out there and, do whatever it is. It can be picking up a piece of trash. It can be reading to kids in kindergarten. It could be planting a tree. We went down to the Gulf when the oil spill happened, and we were able to actually go and see a lot of it. And it was amazing to see how many people were out there just, trying to help, either clean up the birds or help with the buoys and catching the oil. And it was so crazy, but it was amazing to go down there. So we do a whole bunch of different things. But basically the message is just go out there, and just, if there's something that you see that riles you up, you're not too big or too small to do something. And so that's basically our message.
And you also work with a lot of children's charity organizations.
Yeah, for sure. I teamed up with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. Right. When I went on tour, I was on tour with the Jonas Brothers, and we sponsored there, and then they helped sponsor my headlining tour last year. And basically what they do is to help fight childhood cancer. I've definitely involved with a lot of cancer charities because I've definitely been affected by it. And, well, not me personally, but personally as in somebody that I know and definitely love. And so definitely been involved in that. We got to find a cure. It's 2011. Come on, people. Right. So working on that. I love, like I told you, I love kids. So just being involved in different things like that. I've visited a lot of different hospitals and, just when I can. Actually, a couple years ago, when you said that I was in town, I was at Walter Reed, visiting some of the soldiers.
That's why I was trying to get you over here.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
See, it took 3 years to get her here.
Timing is everything, because this is perfect. But yeah, I went over there. So I like to do a whole bunch of different things. Like for me, being able to do this and sing, it's what I absolutely love to do. I don't know what I would do without music, but not giving back just doesn't make sense to me. Like if I get to do all this, I get to travel overseas, and like, what is all of it if I can't like go and put a smile on somebody's face, or I can't go, give back or give a little bit of my time. So I love being able to do things like that. And we have a Super Bowl event that we do. Hopefully the NFL will be back so we can still do it, but we'll see. But it's called the Jordin Sparks Experience. And because we're such a sports oriented family, we have that around the Super Bowl every year. So we just had one in Dallas, and we did a mission with Starkey down there for hearing aids. And then we went to Mission Arlington, which helps with, a lot of kids in housing. And Tilly down there, she doesn't turn anybody away. And she's in her mid 70s, I think. She's there from 3 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and then goes to sleep and comes back at 3 o'clock, and she never turns anybody away. And it was phenomenal to be able to meet her and experience that. So we do a whole bunch of different things.
Well, I can't imagine anyone who's more deserving of the title of American Idol than you are.
Thank you.
And please, the next time you're in D.C., please, by all means, make sure that you come by and see us.
Thank you.
You have
I
an
will.
open invitation.
Now that we've got this down.
That's it. Now we know what goes on, and the security guards know you downstairs.
Yes, they'll be singing. Don't worry. You'll know when I'm here. They'll be singing the songs.
Now tell me about the clothing line and the perfume fragrance. People can get those around the world if they want?
The clothing line, actually, I released, I think that was right after I won in the winter, and called it Sparks. And I actually got to use it, open it with at Wet Seal, and it was a dress line for girls, like for the holidays and different things like that. We did that. So that was a couple years ago. I'm hoping I can do more. I would actually love to do shoes, because I have big feet, and so I know what kind of shoes that I want to wear. So I would love to make shoes for other people who have the same big feet. Not necessarily a problem, but
beautiful feet.
Thank you. So I would love to do that eventually. But my fragrance came out last October when I was doing Broadway, and it's called Because of You. And I named it that because without my fans, I wouldn't be able to be doing all these amazing things that I'm doing. So basically a dedication to my fans. And actually, I think we're working on the second one now.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You smell like Jordin Sparks.
See. It smells good, I promise. It smells really good.
Well, you smell good today, so
thank you.
I'm sure. Now, you mentioned Broadway. Now, you were starring on Broadway in The Heights. Any plans to do any more Broadway musicals or acting? Any other projects?
I would love to. I've always wanted to act, which I did Big Time Rush before I did do Broadway, and I loved doing that. So much fun.
Except getting hit in the head with a cat, right?
It was great. And then falling in the well.
That's it, falling in the well. That was what they pulled you out there.
So I've always loved doing that. I did a lot of community theater before Idol. I saw Broadway plays. My first one was, I was 4 years old, and that's where I got introduced to like live performance and stage and stuff. But doing Broadway was phenomenal. Just being able to be a different character and doing live performance and singing, acting, and dancing all in one. It was amazing. So if there is a musical that, it's just the right fit, I would love to do that. But I would definitely love to do more acting. I got a couple of scripts earlier this year, and it's just really cool to see, like, the different sides. So working on that. Hopefully after the tour, maybe I'll get another script, and maybe if I'm MIA, I might be shooting something. So we'll see.
Now, you're absolutely gorgeous. As I mentioned
you.
that before, so it's, you're going to be on the big screen soon.
Thank you.
And, you've done tributes to Aretha Franklin and Diana Ross, and who haven't you met that you want to meet? Who's on that list of people that, gosh, I want to meet this person?
I really did want to meet Michael Jackson, but that time has passed.
Right.
But I got to meet Stevie Wonder and actually talk to him when I did the Motown tribute earlier this year at the White House. I was here.
Wow.
And I just didn't even know what to say. And it was one of those things, like usually I'm cool, like it's easy, but I was just looking at him going, what he's saying, isn't she lovely? And I'm standing there looking at him going, oh my gosh. And he just did it on the fly. Like he wasn't actually going to do it. And it was amazing. So I've gotten to meet a lot of amazing people. I don't know. I think my list is pretty much good, cleared. If he was still alive, Michael Jackson and Nat King Cole, I would have loved to meet him too.
A couple of the biggest in the business.
Yeah.
And Jordin Sparks is one of today's biggest names in music, and we're certainly happy to have you here, as I mentioned before. And if you want to get a copy of the new single, I guess it's online, Amazon, iTunes, everywhere.
Yes, Amazon.
Please, let's see if we can beat No Air with the new song, I Am Woman.
Let's try to beat that.
Let's try it.
Yes.
Get downloading as soon as we finish the interview. Everybody get on iTunes and start downloading. Thank you, Jordin, for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know you're not
appreciate it.
feeling well, and your throat is sore, and you're
just a little bit, but it's okay.
But you still managed to sing and sound great, and sit here and give us, so generously your time. Are you on tour right now with,
I am.
with the Backstreet Boys and the New Kids on the Block?
Yes, the NKOTBSB tour, for sure.
Where's the JS part of that?
It's a lot up underneath.
No, we need to have the JS up there.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Last night we were in Connecticut, and we were at the Mohegan Sun, and I got to run into a couple of them backstage because there was this big party in the I guess in the middle of the hallway, and that was cool. But Ray Allen was there from the Boston Celtics. It was really cool because Donnie Wahlberg is a huge, Boston fan, and he was there. And I had on my my Heat jacket, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm so sorry. But he was really, really cool. It was fun. He stayed and he watched, and it was really, really fun. The boys are really, the men are really nice. But I was a huge, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys listener, and just to be on tour with them, I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening.
You're the baby of the group.
I am.
Some of them probably have kids as old as you.
Oh, you know what? They could. They actually could. Don't tell them I said that.
I won't know.
Don't tell them.
Just between you and I.
Okay.
And 100 million of our closest friends.
Yes.
Jordin Sparks in our studio. The new album is coming out a little later on this year. And please do check in with us so that we can, tell you what the name is when it's decided and when it becomes available. Maybe we'll get you on the phone.
I'll let you know all
the
details.
All right. Jordin Sparks, thank you again so much.
Thank you.
If you want to say hi to the troops, they're tuned in. I'm sure they'd love to.
Yes. Hi, you guys. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. And, going over there to keep us safe. It's so phenomenal, and I just want to let you know from me that I appreciate it. Me and my entire group appreciate it, and there are so many people here that love you and are praying for you and can't wait to hug you and get you guys back home safely. So be safe out there, and just know that we're all thinking about you. Thank you so much. So much.
Jordin Sparks, our special guest. Thank you very much.
Bye, Brian. I love you.
Love you too, Jordin. This is the Voice of America. Stay tuned. More music to come.